bro. See, this is why it's so confusing, and I think it's I just don't think it's real, right? Because do you have any problem expressing when something good happens?
Expressing? What do you mean?
Like, is it a good feeling?
Yeah, either I'll laugh or I'll cry maybe. Like I cry when I'm happy, and I laugh
Okay.
when I'm happy.
And what do you do when there's something negative happening?
I'll usually something negative happening. I'll usually bottle it up and try to internalize it, and then try to bring it to the world when I'm ready for it.
Okay.
I'm not the person that would get bad news
All
and
right.
I'm automatically
So
talking to everybody
on the
about
positive side, you got emotional intelligence, right?
Yeah.
Because you'll let it out, you'll let it be known. But you have no emotional intelligence when the negative side is there.
Well, no, well, all right. Let's do this little anecdote this week since we're talking about it. I won an award this week, right?
Congrats. Yeah, he
Thank
did.
you,
Yeah.
thank you. At a little meeting,
A big meeting, actually.
I kind of didn't tell anybody.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I didn't tell my mom. I told my wife, and then I told my daughter, but I didn't really tell anybody else because I feel like, it's just work.
But you told somebody. It's
Yeah.
not like like I get it. You
But
don't
I'm
want
not like on social media, like
Yeah.
take it, you know what I mean, doing all crazy. So yeah, no, I think the same tenets of stoicism that you don't get too high, you don't get too low. You kind of want to live somewhere in the middle. I'm talking about when you're saying that, I told millions of people just now. Y'all could clap if y'all want, but yeah, but it's kind of like you internalize it until you're ready to bring it out to the world with everybody.
Okay. But the thing is, I think as men, we kind of react to what the world gives us, right?
Yeah.
We can kind of feel out what they're feeling, right? Nobody wants to hear a man air out his grievances.
Exactly.
They don't want to hear that. So this is why I'm saying, like, all this, I feel like is a real, like, sort of Jedi mind trick. It's all bullshit, right? Because it gives a reason for women to have like something negative to have about men, because usually, right, we don't say a woman that's overly problematic or emotional or always got a problem with some shit. We don't say she's not emotionally intelligent. She's not.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't. Most people don't. We don't use that.
Women, we use
when we talk about emotional intelligence and people having lack of it.
Yeah.
I would say the majority that they put in that box are men.
Oh, so that's why you don't care for it. You think it like it's a way to just pigeonhole men, but it's really not. It's across the board. I feel like men, women alike. Now it is on a scale. I do that. I do feel like women are given the grace to be more emotional. You know what I mean? Because of different hormones in their body that we learn how women's body work, and we just give them that. They're allowed to be more. So it is definitely judged on a scale. You know what I mean? Like we definitely give them a little grace on it, but there are definitely emotional, unintelligent women.
Tell me, give me an example.
Same restaurant situation, same thing with the car, with the guy with the driving the car. If a woman goes to the restaurant and she's just spazzing on the waiter because everything is no good, or she doesn't like the way things stay, or she's making a scene out in public, those are signs of somebody with poor emotional intelligence.
So give me an example of a woman that does have emotional intelligence. Is she stoic?
She's not stoic, but she could speak up for herself and be eloquent, but keep a baseline of decorum. I think that we could just keep, some kind of.
Because I haven't heard that. I
come on.
haven't.
It's a human thing. It's the same way with
No,
IQ.
it should
It's
be
EQ. EQ, emotional intelligence, is across the board, men and women. Maybe we're talking about it because we're a men-based podcast. You know what I mean? It's two of us, but we hold women to that same. Listen, we tell. Well, the women, I have women in my life that if they ask me something, you know what I mean, I'm gonna keep it straight with them. I'm gonna tell them like, yo, listen, don't pick fights. Like, don't pick arguments. Like, nagging is
it's
a
a trait of a
sign,
woman.
but with low emotional
I just think
intelligence.
women nag.
But you got to learn how to turn it off sometimes. You got to learn, like, yo, okay, he's hearing my voice a little too much. Like, it's ineffective. There's a point where my voice is ineffective, and if you don't know that, then it's like,
Yeah.
it's across the board, bro.
I don't. I maybe I'm not running across the platforms that discuss women.
No, it's not
Right?
about platforms. It's like lived. You've lived? You know,
No,
like
I
some people pick fights. Women pick some women pick fights, right? Pick arguments.
women pick fights.
Not all the time.
Not all the time,
Right.
but most women pick fights.
Okay.
You saying like there's a group of women that don't really pick fights like that. Women pick fights like in general, I'm speaking generally. They'll pick fights. I'm not saying some women may pick fights more than others, but that's a tactic that a woman does. Normally when maybe she needs some attention or whatever the case may be, right? And we're not calling all women we're not saying all women don't have emotional intelligence.
No.
A lot of the times this is what I'm trying to say. We're using this phrase. It's mainly for men. And I feel like it's a tactic. It's a term that is trying to get men more on that. All right, stop being so masculine. You can let your guard down. You could be a little softer and you could just be a little bit open and be a little more receive your woman, right? And I think it's mainly for men and women, right? And I think that I don't know, I'm a conspiracy theorist, right? You got women that want us to be a little more understanding to them. And if they have their grievances, so you're more open to receiving them. You're not stonewalling them. And it's like, all right, I'm a woman. I'm complaining about you, but now you're not beefing back. Now you're just taking it and you're listening to me and you're understanding that, yeah, I'm complaining, but you're taking my complaints and you're not arguing back with me. Right. So I think that's a part of it. But a lot of
you are just. I feel like you're just lasering in on like one, like little ridge of it. It is encompassing everything for men and women. It's men and men relationships, not sexual, but I'm talking about.
I don't hear. That's what I'm saying. I don't hear. That's what I don't hear talking about.
Asked you was about the first thing I asked you was about road rage. Like learning how to let things go, learning how to let minor interactions go, learning how to let someone stepping on your shoe go. Like everything is not a huge problem. Most people suffer from low emotional intelligence when they're younger, and they gain it the older they get, the more experience they get, the more life they live, the more they see people aren't purposely doing things to them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's a lot of things like the term crash out. Like if we really want to say that, that's a person with low emotional intelligence.
All right. No. Can I ask you this
because
though?
that person is crashing out because he can't handle, what life is bringing them, and he's just flying off the handle. Shoot.
And I'm just throwing something out there, right? So when they say dudes that react, crashing out, this, that, and the third, what do they say about those men?
What do they say?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who they raised by? Who they normally raised by?
Yeah. Okay.
Who they raised by? Tell me.
They're raised by single mothers.
But they're not. We don't talk about the women. Now they raise unemotionally intelligent men, right? But they're not.
Ron.
They don't get that. They don't get
That's
that.
what we saying.
They don't get put in that box though.
They do. I told you that we give women a certain amount of grace. Women are allowed to operate with a lower emotional intelligence than men are because we give them that grace because we understand different hormones, different things. So if there's no man, if you're a man with strength and everything like that, and you're raised by someone with low emotional intelligence, that's when you get, that's why we say those things. Like, that's the math. You know what I mean? That's why we're saying these kind of people kind of like are more prone to crashing out if they don't have a strong man figure in their life to teach them the benefits of stoicism, of, yo, everything ain't about you. Like, it could just be an accident. Like, you're not always aggrieved. Like, you don't always have to keep it real. Like, you don't always have to, like,